Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS, with your host, Bob Pace. It's a warm welcome. I'm glad you found me. There are 10, there's 9 Facebook pages and one YouTube page that connect you up with me. And I'm using what's called SteamYard. It's an application that runs my live streaming program. Now, I broadcast around all 50 states, including the 31 countries. Yeah, I finally increased 31 countries. This morning, I had a lady from Czech Republic. It's so great to have someone who had a CPS case from someplace different. Also talked to Lycan Herzenberg, who's from Australia, and I haven't talked to her in months. And she came on this morning. I told her to come back later. It's now 10 o'clock at night in the Czech Republic or um, her South African province. Anyway, I'm here to help you with the CPS case. All I ask is make a comment or a question. Please do your first name, list your first name, and then the city and state you're from. And if you're from the a country, it's your city and country. So I help all people in the world with CPS questions or concerns. I've been doing this now for 2.5 years, consistently 2.5 years. These last couple months, I've been doing 3 shows a day. I switched from 2 to 3 on the first of the year. I started October 2023, and I have some exciting news. My computer parts coming in. Last thing I tracked, it was in California finally. Now, I broadcast this live from a place called Surf City, USA. I'm 3 blocks from the beach, and I had power outage in my place. They just raised the rent. You know, they have a power outage and they raise the rent. So, anyway, um, I'm more, and thank you for the thumbs up. Whoever said that. Hello, Pat Torres. Glad to see you. And where are you from, Pat? Where are you from? We have Pat Torres in the house, and I text you about my CPS issues. Um, okay, was that a previous live stream, or did you email me? I'm looking for a text message from you, Pat Torres. I'll just call you Pat for right now. Pat, where are you from, by the way? Where are you from? Well, I can check the email, but now when I go and leave to check the email, I get my computer part today. This should not be a problem, but when I leave, it's going to log me off SteamYard for a moment. So let me check my email. I'm back again. I'm sorry, Pat. I looked for you. You're in Las Vegas. Okay, I'll have to go through and read them because they don't give me your name and I don't know what your phone number is. They give me the area code that would help. So we have Pat Thomas from Las Vegas, Nevada. And you're telling me you're your biggest fan. Well, that's glad to meet you, Pat. I do remember when you last came to my room, and I'm so glad you're here. And boy, I once had a heart, now it's was a thumbs up, and now I have a heart. I don't know what happened to the thumbs up, but anyway, um, I'm glad you came back, Pat, and I do want to help you. I do want to help you. If you could refresh me about your question, and today I get the computer part between 3:30 and 5:30 today. 3:30 and 5:30. So it may be operational before my evening show. I don't know. I'm going to try to, but right now I'm using one device. Now with my computer up and running, I can use two devices. I can take my phone calls on my phone using Vonage, which is a software application the company uses. Then I use SteamYard on my computer, but I got to load it on my computer. It's got to have a special message there. I'm glad you're my biggest fan here, Pat. And I do want to help you. I do want to help you. Now, I have nobody in the room, Pat. Are you still there, Pat? Pat, are you still there? Yep. Did you come back, Pat? Are you here? I don't know if you guys got knocked off or what. I lost power again, so I'm out in my car again because I didn't have power. They're working on Edison is working on Southern California. Edison is working on the power maintenance, so they sometimes turn off the power. So I'm working off my auxiliary power out in my car. Good, Pat. See, I don't know if the eye counter is accurate because a lot of times I'll see zero with eyeballs looking in, but then there's several people in the room. So anyway, thank you for the heart. I love the heart. And Pat, what is your case? What is your case? What is it that I can help you with? I want to help you. And the more I talk to you people, the better the show is. You don't want to hear my boring voice talk about my 5 rules or about my CPS case either. Okay, Pat, that's all right. Is there a question, a simple question you can make, or a comment you can make? Something I can talk about, talking about CPS or the rules or how bad they are. I hate telling them how bad CPS is, but 50% of the child protection systems are awful. They're bad. They're corrupt. Why I say that? Well, there's 3,144 counties in the United States. Each county will have a CPS entity. Well, I've talked to 2,600 plus people, over 100 people from other countries, and 2,500 from the United States. And so I do want to help you. I do want to help you. And I was excited to get a new country today. The Czech Republic called in, and also Leica Herzenberg from South Africa. Her daughter was abused by a pedophile, and the local police did nothing about her in her province in South Africa. Ah. Now, for all the rest of you in there, besides Pat, please state your name, the city and state you're from, or if you're from outside the United States, the city and country you're from, and I'll help you with your CPS matter. You have to understand that fighting CPS is just as hard as doing open heart surgery. It's just as hard as doing open heart surgery. That's why you need a specialist. That specialist is called an attorney. And I have an attorney that I work with, and he helps me fight CPS too. He's been doing it a lot longer than I have. He's been doing it for 40 years. And I hired him. He worked for me and got my kids back. His name is Vincent W. Davis. And there's a picture of him on the upper right hand corner of my screen. It says his name, and then it has a website. You go and can find special deals with CPS Matters. It's dan.store/attorney VWD. And you go there and you'll see all kinds of stuff that help you with CPS. He also has another website, vincentwdavis.com, which is all about his office, his attorneys. His attorneys will cover a lot of different areas of law. But the kind of law that you're in here is called dependency law. And it should also have a background in family law and children law. They go hand in hand with dependency law. But dependency law is where they're going to try to prosecute you. Now, keep in mind, you're guilty till you're proven innocent with CPS. It's the only agency that does that. Now, just because you can't afford an attorney, do not take the attorneys provided by the social worker because they won't help you. It's a waste of time. But if you have to, you have no other resource, then you got to make that public defender work for you. You got to tell him that he's got to do a job in defending you and getting your children back. If he doesn't do that, you can sue him for negligence or go to the state capitol and file a complaint against the state bar, so they remove his license. They take it very seriously when non-performance. That's also true if you don't like the judge does performance. You want to replace the judge. There are ways you can do that. Now, Pat Torres, do you have anything to say? Um, she's from Las Vegas, Nevada. She's one of my favorite fans. Now, here we are talking about a very troubled agency. 50% of the CPS entities are bad. Now, there's two kinds of reporters they have. They have what's called a layperson and then a professional reporter. The professional reporter is somebody like a doctor, nurse, a school teacher, a counselor, administrator, or even the school nurse. Furthermore, you got caregiving, daycare centers. Those people are all trained and must report because of their job a child negativity issue, child abuse, or negligence, child negligence. Some examples of abuse is a child is beaten up or has welt marks it shows. They don't believe, I guess, in We got a good group of people in this room, but I have no questions or comments. All you have to do is write them and I'll answer them. Now, as I mentioned, CPS is just as hard as open heart surgery. In open heart surgery, you wouldn't do it yourself, and you certainly wouldn't get a car mechanic or a plumber to work on your heart. You're going to get a lawyer who's trained in background in dependency law, family law, and children law. Those are the three areas of law that you need to be background in. Vincent has all three of them, plus he has some more. Now, I'm glad you're in here, and I am so glad to see Pat Torres from Las Vegas, Nevada. And Pat, do you have any other questions to ask me? You're in here. Here's your chance to talk about it. Now, these social workers, if you turn rogue, will lie to you, will commit perjury on the stand, and will embezzle funds. It's that sad. They're not to be trusted, and I guess there's a lot of bad agencies out there. Now, I'm thinking a little bit about what you'd like me to talk about. I can talk about my case. Yes, my children were trafficked into foster care, into the CPS system illegally. They weren't in imminent danger. Children should never be taken unless they're in imminent danger. And they should always try family unification first. Every attempt should be to rehab the mother and father if they need to be. People will make mistakes. No one's perfect. But studies have shown the best parents raise their kids are biological parents. So Pat's the last person that talked to me. I'm still waiting for a comment or a question. All I ask is your first name, the city and state, or the city and country. And I'll gladly help you. Now, attorney is the key to your success on hanging on to your children or getting your children back. Anytime that you're involved with a CPS matter, you need your attorney. You need your attorney. And if you don't have one, you should have one because you never know. Now, there's legal fees you can pay just like other insurances. You can get insurance fees to pay your attorney. Now, it's a hot, sunny day here at the beach, and a little bit of an ocean breeze blowing up the street. And it's nice. It's a beautiful day in sunny California. We're having a heat wave while a lot of you are still freezing in the friggin' cold of the East Coast and up north. Kind of crazy. But CPS is an awful thing to get into because it's no simple matter. It's a serious matter, especially you have a government agency that needs to be investigated. And suppose they are being investigated by DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Now, DOGE is at the federal level supposed to investigate government way government spending and government waste is being handled. Okay, we have a person here called Sweet Face. Glad to meet you, Sweet Face. She's in Utah. I don't know what part of Utah. In her county, they call their CPS system the Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS. That's the same as LA County in California. The case closed, I don't know when, and dad has guardianship. Well, what does mom have? Can he legally withhold parent time or block visits because I won't agree to his personal ultimate tantrums? Okay. Well, first of all, are you and the father of the children married or divorced or separated? And only the court can designate the visits. It's up to the judge. Social work will recommend the visit. You in court have to argue that out. But he cannot block it unless he gets a court order against you. Hello, Sweet Face. I still have my parental rights. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Sweet Face. Where are you from? What's your name, your first name, and your city, or if you're outside the country, your city, city and state, if you're outside the country, city and country. I'm glad you still have your parental rights. It's important to have your parental rights, Sweet Face. And you're from Utah. So tell me more. You say the case is closed, but the father has guardianship. Now he can try that, but he does not have any jurisdiction to force you to do anything. You follow the court order. What does the court order say about the disposing of the children? Are the children, how many of them are they, with dad or mom or with both of you equally? Are there visitations? So thank you for sharing that, Sweet Face. Sweet Face further says, not together. He's not on the birth certificate. My dad went with the visit time they were already arranged before the case closed. He just went with the same visiting time. So is your dad involved? I'm kind of confused. You say you're not married to the father. You don't live together. It didn't say you're not married. Were you once husband and wife? Or are you the biological parents of how many children that we're talking about? Oh, your father has a guardianship. So are you and the husband estranged? Or are you guys not talking or see each other? Is he involved in the picture? If your father has guardianship, he can dictate pretty much how long the children are kept safe of the visits you can have with your kids. So if I understand this right, you have a CPS case, and the biological father isn't on the birth certificate. So what is this man that's not on the birth certificate related to the kids? Is he say he's the real father or not? Now we have several people in my room here. We have Taurus Pat from Las Vegas, Nevada. She says that I'm her biggest fan. Well, thank you, Taurus Pat. But she has something that she's going to type me in my email that are quite. Now we have Pat from Las Vegas, Nevada. We have Sweet Face from Utah. I don't know what part of Utah. Now, I'm not an attorney. The attorney I work with, who's a good friend of mine, we do these live streams together. His name is Vincent W. Davis. And he's been fighting CPS for 40 years. I've only been fighting them for 16 years. I started in 2014 talking to them. In 2015, they kidnapped my children and took them into a shelter. Is the idea to be safe. There's nothing in my home that would affect them. I don't know if it's the power or my internet connection, but I keep fading in and out. Now, Sweet Face says their father is not involved in the picture. I was a single parent. So the biological father is involved, but your father is. Your father of you, Sweet Face. I'm trying to get my kids back in my custody, and he wants to keep settling the bar forward further and further, making me jump through hoops. Is that the biological father? But if the kids are in the guardianship of your dad, that's a good thing, right? Hey, Tony. Tony is from Ostanego, New York. He's a long time part of the family here. So glad to see you, Tony. What's new? Um, so I'm glad that Tony's here. We have Sweet Face from Utah. Now she tells me she's in SL County in Utah. I don't know what SL stands for, but that's the county where she's in. Tony says he talked to your attorney today. Now, is that about your criminal case or your CPS case? It's supposedly a family offense. I'm dealing with that, so that's why it's in family court. Well, yeah, it's in family court if it deals strictly with the family, he's called a family offense. So maybe some criminal charge within the family. The dependency court is for children with their families being separated, and it's supposed to help the children get rejuvenated and start to get out of their mess that they have in. Lisa, sounds like your case. I'm glad you're here, Lisa. Lisa's from Montana, the one in Utah. Okay, yeah. Sounds like she has a couple men involved. Lisa's case is that she had the biological father who was divorced from the mother, but he came back and raped her. They had a child, and she did not abort the baby. She brought the baby in, and now the biological father has sole possession of her child, and she has no visitation rights, which is wrong. So Tony was talking to her attorney today. I knew she had something on Monday. It's supposed to be a family offense. I'm dealing with that, so that's why it's a family court. Well, what did they say today? What did your attorney say? And again, is this a court appointed attorney, a public offender, or one that you hired? Now we have Lisa Bartley from Montana. We have Tony the Tiger from Ostanego, New York. We got Sweet Face from SLC, Utah. And I already talked about Tony the Tiger and Sweet Face. Who else do we have here? Pat Torres, who's going to text me a question again. I'll have to read it. Anyway, that's the people I have in the room. And I'm glad they're here. All I need to know is your questions or your comments. Just state your first name and then either list where you're from, what part of the world are you from, and then go ahead and place your comment or question. Now, Bartley has a question. Do you want to file in my county, Bob, or is it better to file in another county? You always want to be in the county you live. You file in the county where you live and where uh, the event occurred. If you're traveling, you're going to file in the county where the event occurred. But you always want to file in the county that you live in. Well, you need to get a hold of the CPS worker and tell them they forgot about you at visitation. You need to ask them why I was not given any visitation with my young son. You need to tell them because you showed the social worker your home. You showed the place where you want to teach your son, and you're very proud of that home of yours. You really fixed up nice. You got a wall furnace, and you got uh, wait, that's good news, Lisa. You told me you lost custody, that your divorced husband has complete custody, and that the boyfriend you're seeing, you call him the stepdad, his name is Kelly. You said he walks your child across the front of your house to the school bus stop, but you told me you had no custody. Oh, so you do have custody. You have medical and physical custody. That's great news. Now I have about 38 minutes in the show. My show ends at 2 o'clock. My show ends at 2 o'clock, about 15 more minutes. And I appreciate the questions, actually. Lisa, that's good news that you have your custody back. Very good news. I'm glad you joined me. I wish you had told me that sooner because you told me you had no custody. I'm so glad your custody is. So, Lisa, it's all about your visitations. You should have visitations with your son. You had it up to Christmas. Why'd they take the visitations away? And how did you get the custody back? Because you told me you didn't have custody. Okay, so you don't have custody. You want your custody given back to you. So actually, my custody back to you, what you meant to say is you want custody back. I agree. You should have joint custody with your son, equal time with the father and equal time with the mother. So the father proves to be bad for your son or detrimental, you don't want him to have custody. You have rights. You have rights as a person over the age of 18. You're a U.S. citizen, and you can go to CPS and complain. You can tell them they did not address you in the dissolvement of your CPS case. You're supposed to be talking to. If you allow the picture, you have the right to appeal that. We need to get your rights back again. Okay. You should have what's called joint custody, Lisa. Joint physical and educational and legal custody. You should make decisions where he goes to school. You want to do him homeschool? You have a request to do that. You've already set up a classroom for him. And you want to have physical and medical custody and legal. You know, medical rights, you have a right to tell him what doctors he sees. Legal is making decisions that he can't do as a minor. And of course, physical custody, you want all of that. You want joint, it's called joint custody. Because the kid needs both parents, father and mother. Now, I know you don't think the father is appropriate. They will find out. If he's bad, he'll screw up and make his mistakes. Now, we have about 15 minutes left. It's 14 minutes left. It's almost 2 o'clock. And I've been talking to Lisa Bartley from Montana. I've also been talking to um, Tony the Tiger from Ostenago, New York, Sweet Face from SLC, Utah, and who else I've been talking to? Pat Torres from Las Vegas, Nevada. Can't forget Pat. So I have lots of people I've been talking to, and Lisa has asked some really good questions. I appreciate the questions and a chance to answer them. I prefer they answer questions and help you than sit there and regurgitate what happened to me or the rules I have. The rules will help you, but most of all, they'll help you as a good lawyer. And again, I want to tell you about Vincent Davis. He reached at 888 6582. Now, my rules were simple. One, get an attorney. That attorney should be background in dependency law, family law, and juvenile law. Two, start a notebook, gather all your documents, make tabs, and organize your documents so you can find what's in there. Also, you need to start two other things. One is called a timeline estimate log. It can be a spiral notebook with notebook paper. It can be notebook paper you add, but it involves 3 lines for each person that's alleged charge. The first one is a CPS moves too slow, just like our questions and answers are moving too slow. But I'm talking about my rules because no one's saying too much. And you're going to hear my rules for the umpteenth time. Probably Lisa has them memorized. Now, I'm talking about the notebook. I've already talked about how they get an attorney and how important it is to have an attorney. But documentation is very important. And things like the incident time log is a very important document that you can track all the incidents that have happened to you and your family. I'm waiting for further questions. My face is getting red because it's hot out here in the hot sun. I normally do this inside my home and not outside. Now, it's really important you follow these rules. Notebook is really important. The time log incident is. The first line is the date and time and the place where the incident happened, whether it's the office or on the phone. So it'll be the phone number or the office address. Then it's going to be the people involved. Was it the children? Was it the mother and father? Was it the worker from this place or that? So you need to list them. The next line down, you want to charge for distraught. Now it's slowly getting close to be witching hour. I'm about 8 minutes away now. And we're only talking about rule number 3. Now, the second line for the incident time log is the summary of what the incident was about. There's a 1-sentence summary. The third line is the outcome, a 1-sentence summary. So there's only 3 lines per incident, and skip a line. If you don't know the summary of the outcome, then leave it blank and fill it in when you do know it. It'll tell you that you need to get an answer. But that timeline incident form will come in so much handy because a year from now, you're not going to remember all the things. It records everything and it organizes them so you can retrieve the information. Now, I don't know what the weather's like in Montana, Lisa, but I think it's probably warmed up a little bit, or is it still very, very, very cold? And Tony, I know it's cold in New York. What's the latest, Tony? In Utah, is it cold in Utah? That's sweet face, sweet. And Pat Torres in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, the last sentence on the timeline incident form is the outcome. And if you don't know it, come back later and fill it out. It's a 1-sentence summary of the outcome. Now, that's your documentation. Number 3 is the most important one, besides number 1, getting an attorney, is don't open your door to anybody. You should know who you open the door to, especially the CPS and the police. You don't have to. There's no law that says you have to open the door. The only way they get in their house, if they have a search warrant from the judge that they can investigate your home. Now, I don't know if you guys are still here or not. It still shows a lot of people in here. But again, I'm looking for questions and answers. I've moved on to rule number 3. And an easy way out of it is that if you happen to talk to them, whether you're outside or let them in, ask them if it's a legal matter. If it's a legal matter, then you very politely tell them, I don't want to meet with you, but I got to have my attorney present. And so they have to give you the opportunity to meet with them and have the attorney address their concerns. So Lisa wants custody, joint custody, medical, educational, and legal. Those are the areas you want joint custody. Educational, medical, and legal. Any legal decisions you should get a point to involve yourself. Same goes for the medical. You should have equal visitations too with them. Equal visitation. So that takes rule number 3 is so simple. When they're in their place, don't talk to them. Don't let them take your child. They can't take your child. They have to have a court order to do so. Now, the first time you've seen them, there may be some question marks about what kind of the business that they had. Now we have 2 minutes. There'll be a video that will show. It's a really great video. It puts you in a good mood. That's about 2 minutes long. So since no one's talking, I do appreciate you, Lisa, for talking to me today. Lisa's from Montana, and I'm so glad you're joining me. You're one of my greatest friends in here. And then Tony the Tiger, you're someone that comes here all the time. I'm so glad to see you, Tony the Tiger. Sweet Face, you're new. You're from SLC, Utah. I'll try to remember it. Sweet Face. You're very sweet, though, in your words and kindness. Pat Torres, supposedly my best friend or my best fan. That's what it is. And you're from Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'm glad to meet you. So that's all that's called in. About 4 or 5 of you, which is good. I appreciate that. Oh, Lisa says it's rainy today. Well, that would cool off. I'd love some rain. What about we believe in Jesus? When he was a child to go to church, etc. What about my belief in Jesus when my child go to church, etc.? You should be able to have your rights to take your child to believe in your religion. That's important. That's what you have to bring up to CPS. That you want to have your rights for the religion, rights to religion with your child. So legal, educational, medical, religion, rights. Those are all the rights there. Anyway, I want to thank you all for listening. It's 2:00. I'm going to play the video. Please listen to me. I'll be on again at 7:00 tonight. Hopefully, my computer part will show up and I can look at it a lot better. So, you all take care. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget the rules I talked about. Don't forget to get an attorney. I know I'm your friend, Lisa. You're my friend too. God bless you, Lisa. thank you for joining me today. You made my day a happy one, Lisa. All of you are my family. So take care. I'll see you at 6 o'clock. Don't stop fighting for your kids. And God bless you. And I'll see you this evening. This is Bob Pace signing off. Well, I'm trying to play the show. I wonder why the show is not showing up. It shows it's supposed to be there.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the
last ones left. Put your faith in this. We are the last ones left to save the kids. And if our bond means we fall, we'll take the risk. We are the last ones left. It's up to us. We are the
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the
last